Experts from various fields gather at a seminar September 1st to discuss reconstruction of indigenous communities following Typhoon Morakot. When talking about sustainable development, all agreed that indigenous insight and traditional knowledge should be taken into consideration. When we visited the Kakwaluan community following Typhoon Morakot, the elders there told us that God was very kind to leave part of the road intact. When looking at ancient maps, you could tell that the part that was washed away was where the ancient path was. Relocation is one option. Wherever the indigenous choose to resettle, however, it is hoped that they bring the spirit of their communities with them. What we would like to rebuild is not just any community, but a new community that contains the traditional social structures. From archaeological records, we can see that Taiwan has experienced numerous floods. It is, however, important to note out that several archaeological sites in Taidong and Pingdong remain intact after the typhoon. Ever since the Stone Age 6,000 years ago, there have been no major conflicts between man and the land. Why is it that for the past several decades there have been so many problems? We think that the National Museum of Prehistory should educate us as to how traditional communities manage their lands so successfully for centuries. It will enable us to rethink our land management methods. Some propose that the indigenous be granted autonomy. The idea was to establish an autonomous indigenous territory near Dawu Mountain during the process of reconstruction. Let's look at the administration of the Taiwan government, especially the 25 counties and cities, 30 mountain indigenous townships, and 25 plain indigenous townships. Let's look at the traditional territory, including the land and rivers, and we consider the arrangement of administrative regions. With so many indigenous areas devastated by flooding, let's reconsider how to move toward autonomy. Natural history, archaeological, anthropological, and ethnological museums should not limit their focus. They need to share how human and the environment can interact to foster sustainable development. During the seminar, scholars called on the government to show more respect to those involved. All agree that the government should respect the people when rebuilding their communities. After all, they asked, why not take advantage of their know-how and insight? TITV Weekly.